Hello everybody, Corey here. I'm going to do a weekly review. I apologize that I did not get this done last week when I was sick. Just a reminder, if anybody that watches me that's irritated that my videos are long or I talk too slow, there's an option in YouTube where you can fast forward and do like 1.5 or 2 times the speed so you can listen and get through these videos faster. I've also recently been accused of not providing specific data or risk information, even though, all I'm here to do is just provide the data for the holdings and the trades and the data that goes along with those. Everybody should already understand the risk within these, but just in case, now I have this information up front. So before we get started, reminder, I do not provide personal investment advice. I'm not a qualified licensed investment advisor, and I am an amateur investor. All information found here, including any ideas, opinions, views, predictions, forecasts, commentary, suggestions, or stock picks expressed or implied herein are for informational, entertainment, or educational purposes only and should not be construed as personal investment advice. While the information provided is believed to be accurate, it may include errors or inaccuracies. Conduct your own due diligence or consult a licensed financial advisor or broker before making any and all investment decisions. Any investments, trades, speculations, or decisions made on the basis of any information found on this site, which is basically in my videos or any spreadsheets expressed or implied herein, are committed at your own risk, financial or otherwise. And then I'm not going to read every single one of these risks for YieldMax. This is strictly from their website, though. Before investing, carefully consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. This information, along with other details, is available in the prospectus. Please read the prospectuses carefully before making any investment. Investments involve risk. Principal loss is possible. And it goes on to state even more. Underlying security risk, a whole paragraph. Derivatives risk, another paragraph. Distribution risk. NAV erosion risk due to distributions. Call writing strategy risk. Single issuer risk. High portfolio turnover risk. New fund risk. Liquidity risk. And non-diversification risk. You can see those here if you want to stop the video and read them, or you can go to their website as well. All right, now we can get on with the show. So this is the same data that we've been showing. What I have cut out, I've cut out the information that has to do, with trades or whatever else, or not trades, but the summary there overall for estimates or whatever. That data is in its own separate video. So here, now, understand, as a reminder, because I know it's been a minute and we have a lot of new people, that this data does not include the trades from February 29th. That was the first day. The trades were not posted on the website, and I do not have those here. Therefore, some of these amounts, especially if they were here from the very beginning, on the 29th, then their data is going to be a little bit off. And you can see that in column AE. And last time I did this, all the data was all over the place because, we just kept adding to it. Today I did take some time this evening to rearrange the columns and the data and then add a few other things here. So in column AB is going to be every single ticker. So now this is where I'm going to need your feedback. This is every ticker since the inception of ULTY, not just since the last distribution. I know on the other ones, on the single stock stuff, we do just look at since the last distribution because we're only looking at that time frame. So here, do you want me going forward, do you want me to only include the data for that pay period? Or do you want me to continue to include it since inception, just so you can see all the tickers overall and how well they've done? So I need you to let me know, and then that will be the decision that I make going forward with this. So IV here, it was here before. I did end up adding the start and end date here so you could see that. And I actually had to go update my data. And while doing that, I found that GitLab never had posted trades closing it out. So that's why it's in red here, and I have missing in my formula. I even went back and I think it, off the top of my head, I think the last holdings, it was either on the last holdings was either the 8th or the 11th, one or the other, and it was there and then wasn't the next one. But there was no trades showing that these were closed out, and they would have had to have paid to close the synthetics out here. So this data is not going to be fully accurate for GitLab. And of course, just a reminder, this is just data pulled from this website, right? The data that they post, which is not always accurate either. They could find errors and stuff, and we fix them later that we don't see on our end. And then sometimes things are posted inaccurately, and we don't necessarily see the fixes. But if you've seen as we've gone through, there have been trades that I've marked as red as having errors or mess ups or something. But if you've been here a while, you've seen those. So to go over that, and then column AG here is our open and closed. So, and the reason this is important, because as we look at the overall data here, as far as their trades and everything else, well, obviously if they're still open, this isn't like the end of the story. It still has some dime decay and whatever else going on with those, and that could be why some of them look the way they do at this point. So just keep that in mind. What I will do is I'm going to scroll down just so you can see the start and end dates. So if you want to screenshot this or pause this just to, take a more in-depth look at those, please do so. But what I'm going to do is hide this. And then I am going to zoom in a little more here so you can see better, especially if you're on an iPhone or something. I do have all the other data to the right, but I've pulled all of the overall data up front because most of you probably only want to see the overall data here. So in column AB, the color code's there. If it's red, that means that this has lost or is, it's lost money at this point. Whether it's closed or open, it's at a loss. Green means it's actually in the positive. If you look, we have more we have more reds than we do greens. And then first thing I'll do is we're going to sort this by ranking, and we're going to look at the overall per share amount. So if we look here, for example, NVIDIA, just a reminder, that IV column, that's the IV as of today, not necessarily as of the time that they own this underlying stocks, okay? But we look at NVIDIA, it had 17 contracts, has had 17 contracts with an average of earning $85.14 a share. Or you look at the percentage-wise, looking at all of the trades together, for all of the trades here since inception, again with the data that we have, knowing that there is some inaccuracies here. So it is number 1. So the same thing, MDGL, 57 contracts, earning $36 a share, which is over 14% of the portfolio overall. And then if we go across here, then this is just looking at the overall data if you don't want to see it per share. So back to NVIDIA, so overall it made $144,700, which is 1.25% of the overall data here. And it actually ranks number 5. So if we sort this here by rank, we see that our number 1 if we're looking at the overall data, is Root here at $258,000. So what I will do, I'm sure you don't want me to go through and read every single one of these. I know a lot of you hate my long videos. I even had haters recently because there was an 8-minute video. I guess they haven't been around here long enough to see my 20 and 30-minute videos. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down to see, so you can see the per share data and with all the tickers here and how many contracts. And if you want to pause it or if you want to do a screenshot, feel free to do that. But we can see, I don't know how many we have, but we only have 13 here that are in the green. I guess I should have a counter at the top for how many. I'm just going to mark this in red. And no, I'm not trying to make my video longer by doing this. I'm just want to come back and remember I'll do a ticker count up there. So I'm going to scroll down. And we'll see here if you want to pause or take a screenshot. And then, oh, it keeps going. And there we go. So it looks like we have 46 total. So 13 out of the 46 have been green, which then makes me want to put a percentage there. But anyway, so now I'm going to sort this here. And then you can see the ranking by the overall dollar amount, regardless of share count or contracts and everything. And of course, there's still only going to be 13 green ones. But you can see that here. And then I'm going to scroll on down so you can see the next ones. And then I'm going to scroll down so you can see the rest of those there. Now, if some of you haven't been watching and are not familiar with some of these companies, I do have the data here. So we've had Root Inc., MicroStrategy, a pharmaceutical company, Mind Medicine, NVIDIA, GigaCloud, Vertiv Holdings, Coinbase, Symbotic, Biohaven, Trans Medical Group, GitLab, C, DWAC, which is now actually DJT, so that's why this data is not provided here. Then we have ARM, C3AI, Sunrun, Riot Platforms, Enphase Energy, Solar Edge Technologies, PDD, a therapeutics company, Wolfspeed, NanoX Imaging, Carvana, Affirm, eHang, D-Local, Intracellular Therapies, another pharmaceutical company, Altimmune, Chewy, GameStop, SMCI, SoundHound, B. Riley, Groupon, the Biotech ETF, CleanSpark, Marathon, Wayfair, the Cannabis ETF. I should put these in alphabetical order. Hut 8, Robinhood, RH, which is Restorative Hardware, I believe it was. I don't know why it just says RH, but then Vikings Therapeutics. So just give you an idea of some of those companies there if you don't recognize the tickers there. So we've basically gone over that. Again, we have the IV. If you want to get an idea of some of these IVs, I didn't really go over it. Right now, it looks like we have some down in the 38s, but that doesn't mean that these were down that low, right, when they were in here. But we can go all the way to the top, and we can see our highest one right now is Root at 153%, and this one's actually still currently in the portfolio. But this will give you an idea of the range of some of the IVs that we have within this portfolio. If you just want to glance real quick here at the ones that we still have open, let me sort this by that first, and then we'll sort it here. Of course, most of you, if you've been following, you know this, but we have Biohaven, CleanSpark, Coinbase, Carvana, eHang, Enphase, GigaCloud Tech, Intracellular Therapies, LabU, which is the ETF we already talked about, Biotech ETF, Marathon, Mind Medicine, MicroStrategy, NanoX Imaging, Root, Sun Run, Solar Edge, SMCI, Vacuum Therapeutics. Hold on, I'm getting that now. Yeah, another one confused me. VRT, Vertiv Holdings, Wayfair, and Wolfspeed. A couple of those are new or old that I don't remember. So all of those are the ones that we have open now, and as you see, Root 153% is our largest, and the lowest is looks like 77% there with Verb. All right, so, and we went through all the per share, and you can see all the contracts, and you can see the overall. Now, if you are wanting to see the actual dollar amounts, we're going to do this. We're going to put this in order by alphabetical order. Now here we can see if they're still open, then they have a market value because they're still within the holdings. And then we have a column AR, which are the total trades. Now these two added together is what equals the overall amount in column AM. So just to let you know there. So that's what those two columns equal. And then what we have, the rest of these columns, column AS is all of these short call trades completed, of course, with the data we have. And then AT is the short call premium that was received, just the premium, while AS is the net of all of the trades. AU is the synthetic positions only, and AV is the stock for the times that they held the underlying stock. And so if you look at the top line, it's going to be the total dollar amount. And then if you look at the next line, starting where it says 14 cents, that's going to be by share if we're looking at the share count, outstanding shares as of today. So it's just saying for the market value of all the shares, it's basically 14 cents a share. Total trades have been a negative $3.59 a share. And then the short call trades have been, this is clearly not coming from the right data because the formula was dragged. Sorry, I did change again. I changed some things, and I must have dragged the formula. There we go. So sorry there. So this is saying 68 cents for the net trades. Of course, again, the total. And then here is going to be for the premium only. They've brought in $1.48. For the synthetics, it's cost them $1.87, and the stock has ended up costing $2.39. And so for a total of negative $3.59 for the total trades themselves. Of course, this is the last distribution paid, and our next distribution, as a reminder, is the declaration. Well, in case you're new to this, the way they do these is that they'll close out, anything that needs to be closed out on Friday, and then Monday is when they make their new plan for the week, and then that's when they'll buy or they'll sell more short calls. So on Monday, they will bring in premium for all the short calls that they will sell. And then Tuesday, they will declare the distribution amount. So they're going to make money on Monday. So keep that in mind, especially if you've watched the distribution video already. So Tuesday will be declaration date, and then the ex-dividend date will be Wednesday, the 17th. So in case you don't know, if you want to get the distribution, you must own it before 8 p.m. on the declaration date in this case, because the ex-dividend date is the day after. So you always have to own them the day before the ex-dividend date, which will exceed till 8 p.m. In post-market hours. If you buy them pre-market hours on the ex-dividend date, that does not count because, again, you have to have it the day before. And then I feel like there was something, okay. Yeah, there is here, as far as I usually also cover the price, stock price. And this is the only place I have it on this sheet. So if we look here, since inception, we were at $20.42 at open. And as of today, or the close on Friday, we were at $17.14. If you're just looking at this pay period, which is line 4, we've had 22 of the 23 days of 1 day left, but it opened at 19.24 with a close of 17.14, and it's currently down $2.10 for this pay period. And you can see that our outstanding shares is 3,375,000. Anyway, don't forget, y'all let me know if you want the data on this page or this right here, if you want me to just keep this as always in inception, or if you'd like to know only for that particular pay period. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this, and I will talk to y'all later. Thank you. Bye.